10:00, we call the meeting to order. Written stand for pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. This is our regular March 24th, commissioner meeting. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, we have two minor ones here. At 9:30, Stacy, Tim will be here. It's not Kim. My misspelling on that. I apologize for that. So I did change that to T-I-M now. So we're good for that. At 10:30, Amanda will not be here today to present the new home tax abatement. To schedule a public hearing, and I will do that.
They will still continue on. Right?
Yes. Yep. I'll just present, and today's you'll authorize the scheduling of hearing.
Mr. Chair, here. For that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda. We have a minutes from our March 10th meeting. Commissioner warrants $314,697.29. Auditor's warrant from 313 and 320, and hospital warrants for $543,604.65.
Chairman for approval.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nick.
Morning.
Okay.
Great. First up for me, does the county have a surplus auction coming up? We're kind of doing some spring cleaning and we have.
No, unfortunately, we don't.
Okay. Okay. Do we have an auction service we use? Because I think we work on it online. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I know in the past we've done just like seal bids, open them here. We don't have anything. I guess there's a couple pickups. I don't know if there's anything that's going to generate a lot of money. So it's smaller stuff.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Pete at the hospital also has some surplus items actually on medical center. So I want, and again, we know what it barely covers the cost of advertising, but again, we're required to do it. And with these smaller items, it's not really practical to do those online. So I would encourage us to maybe look at a combined one like we've done in the past with the hospital and yours.
Maybe a sheriff's department.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can put together the list so you can see it first. And,
Sure.
Mr. Chair, are the items too small that can't look permitted?
Some are big enough for that. So maybe it's better if I just give you the list with pictures and background.
I think last time that I can recall was 8 years ago, our fairgrounds, I think something like that.
No, but we don't have enough for that.
Right.
We're like a auctioneer.
I don't know. I remember the last one at the fairgrounds. I mean, it was, there was a lot more stuff than what we have.
A lot of hospital equipment and stuff too at that time, beds.
And some of the, just for background, some of this stuff I'm going to have on this list is things I'll probably no sale and scrap iron. So.
If we had a brave soul here, we wouldn't have to hire an auctioneer. I'm not volunteering. Now, you've been to a couple farm sales.
Well, if we want to avoid that, I know we've made our own bid for it. We just put it in an envelope, send it in. Okay, I will put together the list and bring it back for verification here soon. So, okay, next up for me, we need to renew our annual design software subscription. We got 2 votes. They were really close. I recommend going with a low bid from DLT Solutions for $6,159.02. And then also I should add that I think there's going to be an option for 3 years. It'll be a little bit less per year, so I might Bring back 3-year option next year, so it'll be a big jump obviously in price, but it's.
Is there something new or just?
No.
Be redo?
We need to renew it every year. We used to be able to buy it. And then we just run it until they wouldn't support it anymore. But now they don't offer that anymore. We have to do it every year. You'll see there's 2 for the civil 3D and then 1 for AutoCAD and Light. Not everybody needs the civil 3D, so that's why they're different.
Sure, motion to approve. Point solutions.
I'll support that.
Okay, motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
Right, next for me would be the 2026 FWD testing. So that's the stuff that I think I brought a video in last year. It's a trailer that comes through and I can test how strong our road is. So we use that in our plan development. So it's the same thing we've been doing. I only know this company, so that's why there's only one. But it's not much per mile over what it was last time. So.
Mr. Chair,
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just for off the top of your head, how many miles do we have totally? We're new 25.
So. I'm trying to blank on that now, but I have it on a post-it note on the computer screen, but we have it scheduled to get every road done every 20 years. So it's not
25 times 20.
well, this isn't, some years are more than others, so. So that's, that's how we do that. We try to get it, every road tested before it's next overlay, that makes sense, so.
This is just for paved roads.
Yes,
My point is, we have a lot of miles road.
yes, hundreds.
Sure, I mean, did we talk about this last time too? If we do this every year, is this the type of equipment would be more economical for us to own it ourselves, or is it more involved than just the trailer?
I've never looked at it, but I'm guessing it's way more expensive to own it.
Because the technology involved and calibration.
So, no, we're better off.
You didn't work with, I didn't get a reasonable amount of money, but it'd still be nice to have, just as a check, to have one of the bid if possible, if there is one available out
And
there.
if I ever find somebody else that does it, then we'll get 2 quotes,
Yeah.
but for now,
Sometimes it's not right.
right, for now, this is what I want. So,
Probably not allowed, and
probably not, no.
okay, anything else? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next up, Nobles County is currently searching for an accountant. So they need a little bit of help in the meantime, and they reached out to us, because apparently we use a lot of the same software as they do. So I talked to accounting, they're willing to try to help out. So then we have a mutual agreement, stuff like this with a couple other counties, and I can't Missouri for sure. Probably the Rock, but. So we did this with Murray back in 2019. So I just pulled that agreement out and changed the name on it. So it's exactly. But if it ends up being too much work for us, we can get out of it. So I do like helping out, because I feel like if we ever needed it, we're willing to help us. So.
Will this involve traveling back and forth, and most could be done for
So we're thinking that this can be done all from our office. So.
Bring in now, we got 2 accountants, how many hours would they do in that?
Right, but some of that is up here, helping out up here, so we wouldn't be adding any time. Well, I guess if we did, we would.
But they would get those.
Yeah. It wouldn't cost us any extra time, so. Yeah. Sure. I should have put that in here, though.
Okay.
And they've got the capacity to do this without hindering any of our.
We're gonna try it, we think so, we think we can make this work, but if not, you know, we can pull out of it.
That was either,
Thank you, motion second, any discussions?
well, excuse me. Get the others on.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Right, next up would be, we had some bid openings last week. First one was the 2026 Fox Color contract number one. Little bidder was the A&C Excavating, Marshall, for $585,367.20. The engineer's estimate was $543,694. It's been a while since we've seen one of those come in over the estimate, but you know, it's mainly one bid item that drives that whole thing, not getting $100 over it, so. And all the bids were close. So I think our estimate is probably just low on that, so. I would recommend working to agency. Marshall.
Mr. Chair, I would, we do on that agency.
I'll support that.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Great. Next bid opening we had was for a bridge for Osborne Township. Low bidder there was MK Bridge Construction from Walnut Grove. Their bid was $839,486.45. And the engineer's estimate on that project was $853,169.50. So that one came in under estimate. That one too, so.
I'll make a motion to award bid.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Right, and then lastly, was our County Road 25 regraded paved project. Low bidder there was RNG Construction out of Marshall, Minnesota for $1,295,796.58. The engineer's estimate on that one was $1,940,547.87. Side note, I should add on that, you know, the consultant, like this one, and they also did the estimate. They're based out of the city, so, you know, when we were looking at it at a time, it looked like their numbers were probably a little bit higher than what we thought they'd be, but like that, keep in mind where they're used to working, where we are, so. We thought it would be a little bit cheaper than their estimate, but not as long, quite that, not that much. No.
Of course, they knew where the work was taking place, so too.
They did, but there hasn't been much of that work around here, so there's really not any current numbers anyway.
Comparison.
Right, you know, we haven't done an actual bigger grading job like that since I think 2009. We've done some widening projects, but this we're at full regrade. So I understand where it's hard for them to pull those numbers because there's really no recent examples, so. But other than that, you know, the bid looked balanced and everything, so.
Okay, I make a motion to approve.
I'll support that.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and I think we'll be a great deal of discussion. I am fully in favor of widening the green road. I'm not in favor of paving it, as I have brought up before in our 5-year plan. My concern is that it will be used as a bypass or a shortcut, whatever term you want to use. It'll have an adverse effect on our business community. We discussed this and brought up the room bridge hearing. I'd like to point out, and even further back, when our previous highway engineer, Dave Palmer, first presented this to us, he also voiced some concern about it being used as a bypass. And again, it's hard to quantitate how much traffic we will lose from that, but I believe in my heart we will. So, not traffic traveling to the southwest on Highway 23 or to the west on Highway 30. Traffic between a significant amount of business traffic for them. This is, and yes, it has been on the 10-year plan and 5-year plan. I acknowledge that. But this is the first time that we've actually have voted on whether or not to pay this. I mistakenly thought when we were going off bids on this would be 2 separate bids. And that is what I'd like to promote at this point, is that we do go to 2 separate bids and have a year in between. And that year would allow us to, well, for one thing, the physical part of it, get better compaction, so forth, frost, thaw cycle. But I realize there's other ways of approaching that, but do 2 different lists. But more so, give us a chance to look at what that impact will be for this community. Hard to quantitate what that's going to be. We don't know how much business we're going to lose or not lose. Also,
Wouldn't it be speculating at best?
speculating that we'll lose business. No, I think that's a fact. We will lose business. And we've had some discussions, brought up at the road bridge here. There's some concerns. In fact, we got some people here today that I think would like to address this as well too. You've seen the recent letters to the editor, and it's an issue. I don't want to be misunderstood that I'm against development again. Our highway department are doing a terrific job, and their mission is to continually improve and maintain our roadways, and that's what they're doing. This is somewhat unique because of the location of this road. This isn't just a north county blacktop. Because of the location, the way the traffic comes down Highway 73 and 75. As soon as Google Maps picks it up, travelers coming through the area are going to divert around our business district. You can't quantitate how much, but it will. I have to make my decision on what's best for the community as a whole. Those individuals who live along that road that wants this to be paid. I can understand that, but we look at the economic impact on the whole area. I think that it's going to be more of an adverse effect on our whole economy versus the benefit to those that live along that road. It's not going to be used like everyone that lives in the country would love to have a county blacktop, of course. I believe again, because the location of this, it's not going to be just a nice little county blacktop. It's going to, in essence, be turned into a highway. We're going to have a lot of traffic on that. I guess with your film, Mr. Chair, if there are people who would like to speak to this now.
Right.
And I also have an email I'd like to read as well too. We'll let the public go first. Anyway.
Sure. Anyone want to speak to this?
I'll yes. Go first one.
Yeah, I think what Danielle said, please. Show the record.
Take your name.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for letting me speak. I think Dan is absolutely right that it's a fact that location has just as soon as GPS and Google find out that that thing is tarred, they're going to make the road a lot shorter for people going from Marshall to Laverne. I don't think we can afford to lose even a couple of customers. I think it'll have a bad effect on us, and the more people learn about it, the more that they are going to be using that road. It's going to hurt everybody, including downtown, not just people that are on the highway. We have that sign out there that talks about historic downtown Pipestone. If they don't stop the first time, maybe they'll come back through once again and visit again. I think it'll hurt everybody downtown or around here. Pipestone can't afford to lose something like that and have somebody drive by. So there's a lot of reasons about it. I also think that it's going to be kind of dangerous out there when they can start driving 55 miles an hour on there. I think when you're in a small road like that, and you're looking at your Google map and it says you've only got a mile and a little bit to go before you get to the next road, that you're not even going to be thinking about a trail that's going across it and somebody walking or on a bike or something along those lines. You could get hit on the king of trails. So I think it should definitely be shelved for the time being and go with Dan's plan of widening the road, making it safer, but allowing that to be 55 and the bypass of Pipestone. I think it's wrong thing to do at this time. I think more research needs to be put into it, an economic study on it also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Bridget Longstreet. I'm the general manager at Pipestone Grand Stay. Little thing about our hotel is that in our history is that unlike most hotels, most of our occupancy comes in for people just driving through. It's not like we have a lot of reservations on the books. So every year and every month, we record our numbers. And the Pipestone Grand Stay, we're doing 70%, 80% pickup each month. We have people that are just driving through town, coming from Marshall, and they don't even know that we have a Pipestone National Monument, or we have these world's largest peace pipe, or we have our historic water tower. Diverting anybody out of Pipestone, I feel, will hurt us and impact us. And like everybody knows, we don't know. I don't have the numbers. The only numbers I have is what I record every month. I can tell you that occupancy for our hotel is not increasing, it's going down. And I just don't know if we keep on going this way, that if we're bypassing what we're gonna be losing. And all I know is that once it's paved and we realize that people are using it as a bypass to get from Marshall to Laverne, we can't unring that bell. So.
Thank you.
I've got another comment from one of my constituents. She wasn't able to be here today, so she wrote, I wish I could be at the meeting. I don't think, oh, excuse me, Chris.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's wise expenditure of taxpayers' funds to pave the road at this time. I think it'll create a bypass, which will have a negative impact on those businesses along the highway. Taxpayer funds should not be used to harm the businesses which are part of the tax base and essential for the community of Pipestone and the surrounding areas. It makes more sense to widen the road and see if that alleviates the traffic concerns on County Road 25. The paving could take place at a later date when action necessary and when the benefits of a paved bypass outweigh the negative impacts of the community. Just your thoughts, a taxpaying citizen.
Thanks for the opportunity to let us speak up here. Thanks, Dan, for what you said. I think I said this at the last meeting that we had, that scooters would have, sorry, I should say my name, Chris Gray, scooters manager. Scooters wouldn't have been able to come here and go for the traffic count on that road. I think, like Dan said, that would become a bypass, that traffic count in front of our business would diminish greatly. So someone who cares about the community, I think this is a big mistake to go ahead with this. As a business owner, I think this would be great for my business because I would basically ensure no franchise would ever come here. So that's two pieces of that. As far as I think the for agricultural reasons, I understand that paving it can be safer for them. But they are, I assume, coming from their homes, which are all rough roads, right? So I don't understand the staff that does it. But not like that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could be expounded as well too. Want to finish my thought. I talked about how our highway department's done their due diligence and they got corrected. And in no way was it ever even given a thought that this could have an impact on the economy. That's not the world that you work in roads, and this is just another road. And it just never occurred that this would have this type of impact. And the same thing with our community. We say, well, the community should talk about this beforehand. Maybe we definitely should have done a better job of communicating to the community. Because generally when they see County Road 25, it doesn't have the same impact. You have to say this road, because people don't understand the County Road numbers. I shouldn't say that. Most people are not aware of where that road actually is at until you see it on a map and see how it would have the impact. Back to my first part of the comment about how I'm 100% behind the need for new right of way, the grading of that road, widening the ditches and so forth, that are going to go from a 33-foot to up to a 50-foot center line on that. It certainly is a farm to market road. it's very much needed. The traffic count is 258,
Or
whatever it is.
something like that.
A large count on that, so it certainly needs to be upgraded. I agree with 100%. So I guess at this time, the reason I'm going to vote against accepting these bids is I'd like to see, again, these are wonderful bids. I can't believe they came in this reasonable. I would still love to have it split out into 2 separate bids. One for the grading, widening grading, and the other one for the paving. I'd like to see that paving done at the soonest next year, but give us a chance to do a little bit more in-depth study as far as the impact. So with that, I'll yield back to you.
Sure, I think, go ahead. Not all farmers live on gravel roads, first of all. We are doing what is best for the county, and the county is our job. Principally, it's a scary gravel road. It's got dust, you can't see anything. Just the fact that it's tarred will eliminate one hazard. And you're not gonna stop people from driving on that road. People that wanna either come from the south and go to the John Deere dealership, bypass Pipestone anyway, unless they have a specific thing they want. The only thing you're gonna lose by tarring that road is an impulse buy, and scooters might be an impulse buy. I can't go by there and buy a hot dog sundae anymore. It's gonna be something different, but. And a lot of traffic that's gonna use that road are pickups with trailers, over wide, semis, hauling livestock. There's no place for them to park on highway, a double highway, combined highway. They aren't gonna stop and an impulse buy anyway. This is the best thing for the county, and farmers appreciate that. We're gonna do something that we can benefit them. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with a lot of our business owners on this too. I feel too that they're going to be impacted by this in some way. Even a dollar loss is too much for this business. We didn't give the businesses a proper opportunity to speak other than at these meetings, and had like the deer hunting lot. We had no idea how much we'd hear about that or how much people show up and speak about that. I think we've been in a very similar situation with a lot of people speak about this road too, and then we probably would have could probably plan differently.
But bid is down.
No, I understand.
We spent a lot of money to move the highlight poles to make this happen.
I understand.
That was necessary anyway.
Not if we didn't.
Not if we didn't widen.
I believe it needed to be widened.
We probably wouldn't widen it if we don't blacktop. Okay, for starters, every time we've referred to County Road 25, I think we've mentioned that it's the John Deere road. So I think most people understood where it was located. Of course, originally this is being done for existing traffic on the highest traveled gravel road in the county. It's not just the route to the sale barn, it's also a route to get product out of the industrial park to the highway in a safer fashion than trying to take it through town. If we have oversized loads coming through town, it provides a route. Instead of watching them try to take wind turbine blades around McDonald's corner and put them in the stop lane off, and tying up traffic for an hour, they have a way to get past without having to do that. Of course, if we wait, cost is only going to go up. Frankly, P.T. Barnum once said, "Comfort is the enemy of progress." For 75 years, I think if you look back historically, our city leaders have chosen to not allow larger businesses to come to town. I mean, we had opportunities over the years. We could have Southwest State here, could have 3M, Ford Motor Company, a number of bigger companies that were located here. But somebody was too comfortable with the way things were, and they wanted to just have it always be the same. Frankly, paving a county road that's gravel is progress. I would compare this project to Veterans Parkway in Sioux Falls, or Channel Parkway in Marshall, or Highway 60 in Worthington. Excuse me, or the Highway 14 loop in Brookings. You know what the difference is between those 4 roads and this project? Those 4 towns are growing. And I'd like our town to grow too. Any other comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 3-2 passes.
All right, any other questions for me, otherwise that's all I have for today.
By the blizzard last Sunday,
Yep. Sure did.
did you guys get called out? I didn't.
Yeah, we were out. We had to pull them. Early on the one day.
Sunday night, I think.
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday morning, they were out, I think, and then they got pulled.
Yeah, I think we pulled them and do it on Sunday. It's more, we're back out the next day, so. But yeah,
But you remember what to do?
well, we actually have a number of people that have been there a couple of years now. Haven't really thought how snow we had, so.
I did like to see when you, I don't know who put it on there, but it did get on the sheriff's department Facebook.
Yep.
That they got pulled.
Yep.
That's great, and, you know, so people know.
I think that's the way in the future, because
How that works.
so Quentin told the sheriff's department about that, had them post it, but I reminded them that, no, we actually have one now, you know,
And that's what I was wondering,
use ours, yeah.
Your stuff isn't on the sheriff's department normally. I mean, when you know, we talked about you were doing stuff with Facebook or gonna do stuff with Facebook. So is that on the county site or?
I think that's gonna show up as our own account. It's gonna say,
Okay.
Microsoft County Department. I'm not very good with that stuff, so I mean, someone else could probably explain it better, but
Have they done anything with that yet?
I have not made any posts yet. I was gonna post this, but sheriff's office.
Oh, no, that was great. It still got out there.
Right, so I just left it be,
No, that's fine.
but yeah, that should go through.
Okay.
My intent is that that goes through the highway department. Maybe putting it in both spots.
That'd be fine.
But yeah, that was my intent. Bridget set that up for me. But I think it's gonna show up with our.
Did you speak with other counties too? Well, actually, it seemed like everybody pulled in that new.
No, I don't think we coordinated with them. It doesn't, what the neighbors do, it doesn't really matter.
There's so many different scenarios.
Yeah.
I think once in a while we say, you know, or Lincoln County call it, what do you do? You know,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I didn't know if the state said for doing that.
the state called them, you know, then you're gonna go think about it. It depends on visibility, basically,
right.
if you're following.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a total waste of time for us to be out there, but if we can still see.
Yeah.
You know, but when it gets to the point where our guys in those tall trucks can't see.
Well, that's, I guess that's how I did. It was visibility, you know, and I got that, you know, so.
I know a semi truck driver who hauls milk, who had to get to. And he's, how'd you get there? 75 was closed. I got there. That's county, yeah, he took county roads.
Yeah, I've heard of stuff like that.
Milk had to go through.
And sometimes it doesn't matter if our guys can see or not. I had an interesting phone call a number of years back. We had told the clowns, some lady called really upset that they were told that she had her appointments to calls. If we're out or not, I don't think you're gonna make it. Yeah, so that's that. I'm looking at the forecast, I think it might be done over the year, but I don't know what the.
Every time.
Yes.
Are they? Okay.
Never know, maybe we did May 1.
Yeah, I see his birthday, we wanted it's. Yeah.
We've had corn out of the ground that's gotten sown on the warming, so I understand. I totally understand.
With this huge temperature swing this last week, and I'm really grateful we didn't see any tornadoes. But that would be a huge change.
So, what's that, Saturday to Sunday, yeah, Saturday to Sunday, I was pretty worried about that same thing,
Yeah.
thinking on top of that huge temperature swing without severe weather, but
For sure.
so, okay. All right, well, that's all I have for today.
Thanks, Dave.
Oh. I should say.
I always think back into this.
Yeah, we're not here anyway, so we can
Right.
first with HR.
Okay, yep.
Back,
Morning.
just want to let you know we missed you last
I
time.
missed you guys.
Nobody says anything, you wonder, did they miss you or not? You know?
This only lengthy reports. Well, today's report has a lot of status changes. We have Jessica Harris, we hired her for the building ground maintenance lead worker. So that was effective March 1st, 2026. We do not plan to backfill her position at this time. We have hired Steve Moffett for our seasonal building and grounds maintenance worker. That'll start sometime in April, weather pending, grass pending really. Its main duties will be mowing, helping us out with that, especially the cemeteries and grounds. Another new hire, Miranda Boomgardner. We have hired her as a full-time jailer dispatcher. She started yesterday. And we have a resignation from Haley Thompson, who was a full-time jailer dispatcher. That was effective March 9th. And the retirement of County Sheriff Keith Freeman, which will be at the end of his term in December.
That's elected official.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two open positions. Currently, our jailer dispatcher, we're gonna keep that open. Intending to hire Eddie for that position. It is a hard to find position, so we're keeping that open. And then our IT technical internship goes on Sundays, so Bill and I are reviewing those applications and we'll schedule interviews later this week or next week for that. And human resources updates, our pay equity results came back with passing scores. Everything was submitted accurately and on time. We reported more than 3 male dominated job classes and achieved an underpayment ratio of 80% or higher. And the salary range tested resulted in a score of 80% or higher. I wish I could tell you more of their calculation methods, but I don't understand them myself. The goal is just to get that passing score, so that's where we're at. This report is due every 3 years, so the next report will be 28 for reporting in 29. And our last item is a colleague kudos for Candy Whipple. She was nominated last month. She's a tremendous asset to Pipestone County and exemplifies outstanding dedication and customer service in every aspect of her work. She consistently focuses on discovering and meeting customer needs, both internal and external, promptly and courteously. Candy sets the standard for excellent service, ensuring that everyone she assists feels supported and valued. Her knowledge, resourcefulness, and willingness to help make her an invaluable colleague, whether it's knowing exactly where to find something, helping resolve storage challenges, troubleshooting unexpected issues, or even cleaning up message she didn't create. Candy approaches every situation with professionalism and a positive attitude. She is always the first to lend a helping hand or provide thoughtful guidance on solving a problem.
Time and time again, she is both the first and last call when assistance is needed, dependable, responsive, and solution oriented. Beyond her exceptional work ethic, Candy's positive presence brightens the workplace each day. It is truly a pleasure to work alongside her. Thank you, Candy, for your unwavering dedication for all.
Like to echo those sentiments.
Absolutely.
Last night, you got a difficult job highlighting employees, because we got so many employees that are truly not, but Katie certainly is, she's a pleasant person to work with.
Absolutely. So to see her around, a little pat on the back.
I just want to say I appreciate you doing it, Charlotte, typically, because actually, like you said, Candy before, she deserves the time on the mic right now to be praised about the job that she does for everything here in the school. But you also do this back everyone. Good for everybody to do that. Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you. He says so, so secure.
I tried to call her, but she didn't pick up, so.
Yeah, she didn't say she wasn't coming, so.
Glad I talked to her.
2 weeks ago. When she scheduled it. Spend the mic for you, please. Thank you.
Today I've got Arlen Frank here with me. He's representing Ethan Frank. They are proposing to build a 2,400 head swine finisher in the northeast quarter of section 31 of Burke. Just a little background, we did have a variance on this proposed location. It's within a mile of the city of Hatfield, so we did go through the Board of Adjustments. They did approve the granting of the variance to be less than that mile from the city limits. So that was approved. And I don't know, Arwen, do you have anything to comment on as far as the barn?
No, it's standard 2,400, 5 manure back onto the land that it's being built on for commercial, instead of just commercial fertilizer, so.
The blue on the map, the city limits of Hatfield.
Yes, yep, the blue on the map is the city limits, so they do go out quite a ways. During the variance hearing, I did do a map as far as where the platted part of the city was. It is a little over a mile from the platted district of the city. There really wasn't much of concerns from the neighbors for the setback from the city, but there was some opposition as far as just proximity to a neighboring feedlot and some concerns as far as just general setbacks. So that's and
what is the distance kind of from like a neighbor?
The required setback is a 1/4 mile up to 800 animal units. So the 2,400 head finishing barn is 720 animal units.
Okay.
So the minimum setback is a 1/4 mile.
So
Most
is this one a 1/4 mile?
This one is over 4. It's just over a 1/4. Most of the sites that have been built over the years since we did the 1/4 mile setback in the 90s, most are pushing that 1/2 mile. But this is probably one of the closer ones as far as getting closer to that 1/4 mile than we've had in the past.
Any other comments or correct to address this at all?
State your name and your.
Good morning, Jill. Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Heine Walla. And I and my son have the feedlot just a 1/4 mile south of this proposed building. My son bought out my interest in the Farrow to Finish building operation several years ago, so I just part-time help him with hogs and crops now. We have a small Farrow to Finish operation. Not keeping them around anymore. And one of the concerns, one of the major concerns with hog operations now is the herd health. And a lot of things go into that, and especially with a fill finish operation, if you got health, disease problems, it's a lot harder to clean up a fill finish operation time wise, difficulty wise than just a finishing site. That being said, we've been in discussion concerned with getting different hogs right a quarter mile away from us. We talked to Ethan on the phone, talked to him in person. Good. Basically, instead of a quarter mile away, you could get 3/4 mile away, I promise, on the same site if you move it to the by the west line fence there. Instead of having a 100-yard driveway now, you'd have to come in from the north road and have like a 250-yard driveway to meet all the zoning setbacks. Yeah, basically our concern is that close to being the herd health wise. And I realize it's all the legal setbacks there. There's nothing we can say or do to change that. I'm aware of that. I'm just here to state that I, as a pork producer of 50 years, would never consider putting a new hog barn up a quarter mile away from existing facilities. And I guess I'm disappointed that Ethan is not the good neighbor I hoped he was. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
Thank you.
I've got a question for you, but just to educate me, the disease spread, what is the concern of disease spread? Does it have to be feces that get spread from one to the other?
It can be airborne, a lot
Can
of
be
some
airborne.
diseases airborne, and they can go miles basically.
Okay.
But I've talked to 2 different veterinaries talking about this, and they are way more comfortable with hogs being 3/4 mile away from our fair to finish operation than a quarter mile away from our finish operation. We have hogs on both sides of the road there. You can see where the site just south of it.
Yeah. To help lessen or mitigate that disease spread, is there anything we've done as far as tree shelters, anything like that to stop the wind blowing, or it's just,
Maybe it would help small
it's hard to get in the air, I assume.
and kind of wind and I don't know, I've heard it can happen when you're agitating pits, and stuff and get more stuff in the air and we have already got a finishing barns a half mile south of us ready. So
About wild animals or rodents and so forth, will they carry it from one farm to another?
yes, they can. That's another thing you gotta be on top of. But we've got most of our hogs are in confinement, but we have 2 small buildings with incoming gilts and the gilts that we until they're bred are outdoor. They go indoor to sleep and stuff and they're bedded, but then they're outdoor to eat and drink and stuff. So and yeah, birds can play a factor too. So
Kyle, may I ask you, have you got anything to add? Because again, our hands are really tied again because it complies with.
Right, and if we have this discussion during the variance hearings, the county's ordinance doesn't address site to site setbacks. It only talks about a setback from a residence, so that, like I said earlier, that's a quarter mile. But the only thing we have in the ordinance as far as proximity from site to site is if they're within 500 feet of each other, they're combined for the total animal unit quantities.
For that.
Increased setback from a neighbor potentially. So we didn't, and I don't know of any county that does restrict a setback from site to site. It's more like Heine said, it's more of a courtesy and neighborly type thing. Most try to avoid being that close due to disease control. So
For the mutual benefit.
Correct.
For both facilities. Understandably, it's too late. We can't change the rule now. It's too late. But is this something that we should look at in the future to mitigate any continuing issues going forward?
I personally don't feel that I don't think we've got a good basis to justify what that should be. I think that varies site by site. And I think it's something that we're not gonna be able to address. And then it's also, you know, I don't know if it's the same issue with beef versus swine. You know, so there's gonna be a lot of unknowns.
Are there any examples of this actually happening? This disease transfer from,
You heard bird flu?
well, yeah, I've heard of bird, flu, obviously,
Just an example, several years, I don't know, 15 years ago, circle virus came out. It's a new disease we didn't have vaccinations for. So noticing driving down the road, my neighbor in the south, he didn't inform me or nothing, but all of a sudden he had piles of 60, 70 dead hogs laying out there. We knew circle virus was in the area, and about 3 days later, we broke with no new hogs being introduced and no dirty boots coming in the operation or anything like that. So it's just airborne. So that was circle virus maybe 15 years ago.
With the new technologies that have come out, I would think specifically about odor control. There's enzymes you can put and so forth, and that's gotten much better. Is there any progress made in disease spread too, that can you treat the manure in the pit to help slow down disease spread there? The technology's not there.
I'm not aware of it. We use pit control for odor, for picking up solids in our pits, and makes a difference in the odor.
Yeah.
Just an example, I was told this by my vet, my local vet. He said one large producer in the area broke with PRRS last fall. And normally he sells 48 truckloads of hogs a week. And currently, like 1st of March, he was down to 28 truckloads of hogs a week. Just that's how many.
But
Because of
the rendering trucks increased.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for your time, Joe.
yeah, thank you. Any other comments?
We are gonna start the ordinance or the comp plan update. It's maybe something we could discuss through that process. If that's something that's the board wishes to have, you know, discuss further. But there is a lot of variables to the setback, so.
Yeah. And you know, I understand, I think we all do the whole philosophy of good neighbor. We all want to be a good neighbor. We also have to recognize that there can be extenuating circumstances on both sides of why it was placed there or not placed there. And obviously we can't get into that. That's up to the developers to figure out where's the best place. So.
And I always tell people, and Heine was good about that. I mean, he did reach out to them and express his concerns, and that's really the best thing that can happen is for everybody to discuss, communicate. Yeah, communicate. But not that it always changes things, but yeah.
So is there a possibility that they might be able to reconsider their location, or they're locked into the phone?
That's not for, I mean.
Well, that has to be up to them.
Right, yeah.
Because again, it complies with the ordinance.
Correct.
And of course, ag in general is still the biggest thing going in the county, and obviously everyone has the right to make a living themselves.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we vote on now. Right?
No, this is just for public information, essentially public.
Correct.
If there's nothing else, thank you for your investment in the community and good luck.
Thank you.
Gene.
How you doing?
I'm just bringing forward, our, 3-year contracts are coming up due in July for us assessing that some of the townships and some of the small cities. And, for the last 9 years, we've had $12 per parcel. I'm proposing to go to 14 just because of the gas, wages, insurance, everything is going up. I'm okay with either way, but I just want, how you guys want to proceed with this, I guess. So I want to give out the new contracts at the local board. in April, so that's why I'm kind of, or that's why I'm here today anyway.
Mr. Chairman, she does have a breakdown on the back. So she can bring it.
Yeah, cause I have either the 12 or the 14. The difference in values.
Have you had a conversation with the various township chairs?
Most of them are at 12 yet, but looking to increase, so is what I get to. So
How often do parcels get visited personally?
every 5 years.
Every 5 years?
Yeah.
So it's on a rotation of some sort.
Yeah, it's yep, usually it's like 1 through, 1 through 7, and then 8 to 14. Usually you have a rotation,
Are you allowed to go into the buildings?
not without permission, no.
Somebody asked me that the other day. No.
We can go on,
Do
we go
external
talk to the
measurement.
owner, the owner's not there. We're measuring, say a deck or something, we'll just leave a note and measure your deck.
External measurements.
Yeah, and the external measurements,
You're allowed to do that.
yes.
And I assume that you point out to the owners that it's really in their best interest to have you actually look at it, because if our assessors can't see it, they have to rate it at its highest value. They don't know, but it's less than that, so.
Yeah, we have to.
And people's privacy is so.
Right.
It's really good to.
Yeah, otherwise we have to assume the value and, yeah, but it is bad, yeah, it's for their best interest. Definitely. Especially if, they feel it's high, let's look at it.
Yes, I'd make a motion that we approve this.
I would second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Thank you.
We do, we just take the next comment.
I'm just gonna schedule the public hearing.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, then I don't.
No.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, Steve.
Amanda's out this morning, she had an appointment, so just asked if I would bring this forward for the county board to schedule a public hearing at 10 o'clock on April 14th for 3 home tax abatements in the city of Edgerton. We're going to Janesville, Kelly's Bronx, and Floyd Ward. We have information in front of you, and the action is taken to review board hearing. At this time, it's a matter of scheduling it is what we're asking for today.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we do schedule a public hearing for these properties and for 10 o'clock on April 14th. So.
Yeah.
Yes, and as we do publication notices, let's have it advertised. You can check that once.
Frank talked to me and he said his builder is in a hurry until the snow. So,
Well, maybe they'll snow again.
yeah, don't be surprised if that one gets kicked out. But he understands the problem. Right. I was at the Edgerton Township or council meeting when these are all.
Oh, sure. The only thing that I had any notes on that Amanda mentioned is that the Velds are planning to do some surveying on the property, but there'll be no digging or anything. They might plant some stakes in there for locations, that type of thing. So that does not constitute construction.
Yeah, he wanted to know too, how much time he had.
Yeah.
He has built other houses out in the country and it's been a project, long-term project.
Any other comments or questions? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other business to be brought forward today?
You don't want to announce, we got a whole meeting.
Yeah, I did get a hold of, Dan got a hold of Stacy, or we got our wires crossed. She'll be here in April on the 14th.
Okay.
So sorry about the confusion.
No problem. If nothing else, I guess.
It's adjourned.
All in favor? Opposed? Carries. You want to pass it, later?
I am one son. Years of experience, work for